What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. All right, so I have an issue with NBA.com's updated MVP ladder because whoever created this ladder, it seems to me that they seem to be overly preoccupied with finding any and every excuse to elevate these two on that list. That being Joker and Tatum. It's like they find any excuse to put Joker at the top of that MVP ladder. Now, I get it, the Denver Nuggets are second in the Western Conference. And I get it that the Boston Celtics are second in the Eastern Conference. But what that's telling me is that they seem to believe that the Thunder and the Cavaliers are pretenders. That's what they believe. They believe that somehow they're pretenders. And these are the real deal best teams in the West. Now, of course, Luka took the Dallas Mavericks to the conference finals last year, but Luka's not there anymore. And since nobody really believes in the Timberwolves, I guess they feel like Denver is still really the legit best team in the West. Never mind that the Thunder are almost 10 full games ahead of Denver in the West. Never mind that Shea's leading the NBA in scoring. Never mind that Shea has ridiculous efficiency numbers. Joker has great stats. You know, the media has always found an argument to give Joker the MVP. I'm sorry. That's just what it is. And they're trying to find a reason to give him his fourth. In the end, if somehow Denver doesn't perform well in the playoffs, Joker fans and the media are going to point fingers to his teammates. But then at the same time, these same Joker fans will laugh with me if we go in on LeBron for pointing the finger at lesser teammates. But they don't see their own hypocrisy and doing the same thing with Joker and his teammates. Now, Joker did win the championship with Denver. But it also has to be said that they also, like Tatum, had a weak-ass run to the title. Oh, yes. They beat an 8 seed in the first round. In the second round, they beat a Phoenix Suns team that has proven to be a complete and total fraud, right? Then they beat, in the Western Conference Finals, a 7th seed in the Lakers. And then the finals, they beat a play-in team, the Miami Heat. Last year, Boston beat nothing but banged-up teams. Nothing but banged-up teams. Each round. Team banged up. MASH unit teams. Even in the finals, Luka wasn't right. Including one of those teams being the Cavaliers. Remember they had Jared Allen out? I think they had another guy out. And remember, Donovan Mitchell got hurt in the series. And Cleveland still got a game. But interesting. When the Eastern Conference isn't as banged up. And honestly, we forgetting that the Sixers are banged up. Milwaukee's been banged up a little bit. They don't have Bobby Portis. But even with that, the Eastern Conference is stronger. And as a consequence, you know, Boston's been exposed. They've been doing a lot of losing. Boston's only, 18-11 at home? That's not all that great. That's not indicative of a championship team. But somehow, Tatum's up there. I think he's like third or something in the MVP rankings. Why is it with Tatum that it's like he gets to have these stacked teams and it never matters? Why is it with Tatum that he can have these blah performances in the playoffs, including the fact that he didn't win MVP of the finals and went to Jaylen Brown, who they love to ignore, by the way. In last night's game, Jaylen Brown had 34 points, I think it was, on tremendous efficiency. Whereas with Jayson Tatum, after starting off the game 11-17 from the floor, he would go on in the second half when it really matters. Remember, he was front running, get these mother out of here, get up out of here after, the ultimate front running move. Look, people do that in the fourth quarter when the game's a blowout. You know what I'm saying? We hit a big dagger, get that from out. I get all that. But in the first quarter, get him up out of here. Get him up out of here. Get him out of here. Second half, Tatum goes, let me see my math correct, 8 for 20, 0 for 4 from downtown. Whereas Donovan Mitchell scorches up and come back from a 22-point deficit. And Boston chokes again. But somehow it never matters when Boston loses. Never matters. Shea should be number one in MVP rankings. I'm sorry, he should be. Another thing that I don't understand is when I look at NBA.com's MVP ranking, how in the world is Anthony Edwards ahead of Donovan Mitchell in the MVP race? How is Anthony Edwards, Mr. I don't want to be the face of the league, Mr. I don't want no kids, so delete their ass, Edwards, how is he ahead of Donovan Mitchell? I don't care about stats. He sacrificed his game for the betterment of the team. He's changed his role for the betterment of the team. One of the criticisms of Donovan Mitchell was that he was just a guy that was only good, when he could score, when he shoot the basketball. He doesn't make his teammates better. He's not capable of changing his game for the betterment of the team. But I'm going to tell you something. Cleveland is balling. They're 49-10. And I know the media wants to ignore what they're doing, but it's an absolute travesty. It's a travesty. You know what I'm saying? And I despise what they're doing. If you want to know what's causing the vitiation of the NBA, it's stuff like this. Completely ignoring the best teams in the NBA because they're not large market teams or large markets generally, and period. That's what's causing the decay of the NBA. Look, Steve Nash won 2 league MVPs, right? Averaging like 15 and 10. And the excuse was, well, he's the orchestrator of the team. He's leading the band. He's a great leader, all these code words. Completely ignoring that he had Amari Stoudemire on that squad. Completely ignoring that he had Sean Marion, the Matrix, a guy putting up 20, 12, 2 blocks, 2 steals, 2 assists. 4 assists or 3 assists a night. Completely ignoring him. But they kept giving it to him every single year for 2 years straight. Steve Nash, who's never been to the NBA Finals, only went to 1 conference finals. But Anthony Edwards is ahead of Donovan Mitchell in the MVP race. That's why I don't take it seriously, man. And why is LeBron always on these lists? Don't LeBron got Anthony Edwards and Luka Doncic as teammates? Lord have mercy, man. What is going on with these MVP rankings? And back to Joker. as I alluded to earlier, I'm tired of them always changing the narrative with him. 1 year is about stats. But with Russell Westbrook, we couldn't talk about stats. Remember? Oh, you can't put a 6 seed as the MVP. Remember that? But guess what they did? Make Joker the MVP with the 6 seed and nobody complained about it. Not one bit. Not one iota. With James Harden, who won one MVP. And you guys know I'm not a big James Harden fan. One of the excuses that I used to hear about him not getting is, well, he doesn't play defense. He's not a good defender. Doesn't seem to matter with Joker. We saw the other day on defensive play, he just gave up. Allowed, what was it, Prince to shoot a wide open 3 in that game with the Bucks. Doesn't matter, huh? So all I'm saying is, man, stop being disrespectful to Shea, man. Stop being disrespectful to Donovan Mitchell. And start talking about some of these other guys. Now, notice I didn't say Giannis. No, Giannis missed a lot of time. And he hasn't been playing all that well by his standards. He's been on minutes restrictions. So I don't have an issue with Giannis not being MVP this year. But I'm telling you, man, it's a lot of BS. It's a lot of Joker fans in the media trying to find excuses to give it to Joker. Because if he gets it again, I'm going to start giving him, and I think we all should, start giving him the Aaron Rodgers treatment. Because how you going to win all these MVPs and got one lucky title? That's what, one lucky title. When you look at all other players that got 4 more MVPs, they got multiple championships. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Michael Jordan, Bill Russell, even Will Chamberlain, who everybody always, you know what I'm saying, excoriates for not being more dominant than what he was. 2 championships, went to 6 finals. Even LeBron James, who I loathe, has 4 championships. So how in the world can you put Joker as a top 10 player with 1 goddamn title? We ain't doing it today. We ain't doing it today. If Will Chamberlain has been demonized for only having 2 titles, despite the mind-boggling numbers he put up, remember, they don't even count blocks and steals in his era. And these Joker fans always raving about Joker's Jokic's PR rating. Could you imagine what Wilt's would be if they counted blocks and rebounds? And yes, I know turnovers weren't counted, but it wouldn't matter much. The guy averaged at least 9 blocks a game for his career. The guy averaged probably almost close to 2 steals per game in his career, at least 1.8, 1.7, something like that if you look at the unofficial stats. He didn't have a high turnover rate. Do you know what his PR rating would be? It would be in the fucking 30s. The guy had at least 300 triple-doubles in his career, unofficially. So we were counting all the numbers. It wouldn't even be close. You want to talk about numbers, and Will still got 2 titles. And Will, unlike Joker, was actually going up against real centers. You know, guys like Bill Russell, guys like Nate Thurman, guys like Kareem, guys like Walt Bellamy, guys like Willis Reed, Dave Cowens, Zelmo. Well, actually, he didn't go against Zelmo Beatty much. No, he did. Yeah, he did. Zelmo Beatty. I take that back. Zelmo Beatty. I'm talking about Kareem. Bob Lanier, excuse me. Wes Unseld, Elvin Hayes, the list goes on and on. Remember, there was only 8 to 17 teams back then, so he was going up against Hall of Famers every night or every other night at the center position. Who was Joker going up against? Nobody. And when he does, he gets slowed down. Brooke Lopez contained him somewhat the other day. Brooke motherfucking Lopez. Come on, man. And I welcome your hate. I welcome all the Joker fans' hate. I welcome it. I welcome the Tatum fans' hate. I'm not blocking nobody comments. Say all you want, say all you will, say all you might. 2 Raw was right tonight. I don't care what you got to say. They shouldn't be at top of the MVP ratings. Nope. Tatum got to go out there and dominate in the playoffs to change my mind. And Joker got to go out there and lead his team to a second championship. Not a lucky championship, but a real championship. Because that's what y'all tell me Giannis's is. All y'all tell me Giannis's championship is lucky. So goddamn it, we're gonna say the same thing when it comes to Joker.